Let's talk about the book of Hebrews. Hebrews is one of the most amazing books in the Bible. It was written by an author whose name was never revealed. It was written to a group of people who were Jewish believers in Jesus, but they were struggling to remain faithful because they wanted to go back to the law of Moses. So this author wrote this letter to encourage them to remain steadfast in their faith in Jesus. And the main argument that he uses is that Jesus is better than everything else. He's better than the angels. He's better than the law. He's better than all of the things that these people were desiring to go back to. Hebrews chapters 1 through 4 talks about how Jesus is superior to the angels. Chapters 5 through 9 talks about how Jesus is superior to the law. And then chapters 10 through 13 talks about how Jesus is superior to all of the other things that people were holding on to. So what are some of the things that we learn from this book? First, we learn that faith is more important than works. In chapter 11, verse 6, it says, "But without faith, it is impossible to please God. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him." Now, this doesn't mean that good works don't matter. We see in chapter 6:12, "But this we require of you, beloved, that you be found in peace with God, and that you seek his precious children with fear, and that you become sincere in your love towards God." But what it means is that our faith in Jesus is the most important thing. Our relationship with God is the most important thing. And if we have that, then the good works will follow. The second thing that we learn from the book of Hebrews is that it's okay to rest. In chapter 4, verses 9-10, it says, "There remains therefore a rest for the people of God. For he that has entered into his rest, he also has ceased from his own works, as God did from his." We need to remember that we serve a God who made the world in 6 days and rested on the seventh day. He made everything, and he made time itself, and yet he took time to rest. We are not only allowed to rest, but we should make time to rest. And the third thing that we learn from the book of Hebrews is that Jesus is the perfect high priest. In chapter 7, verses 23 through 28, it says, "Consequently, it was necessary that in every respect he should be like his brethren, that he might become a merciful and faithful high priest in things pertaining to God, to make propitiation for sins. And it was necessary that he should be higher than the angels, just as David also confessed and said, 'The Lord said to my Lord, sit at my right hand, until I make your enemies your footstool.' For in that he passed over the previous commandment, 'You shall not leave the home of your God Most High,' and is said, 'The Lord has sworn and will not relent. You are a priest forever, according to the order of Melchizedek.'" Now the point of this is that we have someone who can relate to us in every respect. We have someone who is tempted in all things like we are, but he remains sinless. And because he is the perfect priest, he can make the perfect sacrifice. If you want to know more about the book of Hebrews, I would recommend reading the entire book. It's not very long. It's only 13 chapters.